Cars underwater, roads closed. The relentless rain's deadly toll as lives are lost and emergency crews race against time making water rescues. One man saved by a drone after getting swept away.
Because he was in a tree, the water was still rapidly rising. That was our biggest concern.
And on this crucial election day, Mother Nature adding another challenge. Wet clothes and umbrellas threatening to compromise ballots at some polling locations.
So paper ballots will swell if they get wet.
The rain has moved on, but the rivers continue to rise tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. It is also decision day. Voters are picking a new president in Missouri, a new governor. Live team coverage of the election is coming up. But first tonight, we begin with the weather. We have two reports. Let's begin with Megan Kernan in South St. Louis County, where two people were found dead along a creek. Megan.
And we just learned less than 2 hours ago that St. Louis County Police have recovered a second deceased person. Earlier today, a woman was found dead in her car, and now a man has been found inside of the Gravois Creek, the same creek where both of them have been found. Now, as you can see, some crews are still out here right now. Officers say that it was a possible drowning here. An officer on scene told me the body was found in the creek about a quarter mile away from this business. The body was not near a car, so they're trying to locate a car close by to see if it's connected. Now, we're told officers are down in the creek right now investigating. Earlier this afternoon, when the floodwaters started to recede, a nearby business owner discovered an SUV submerged in the water in the area of Bayless Avenue and Interstate 55. That's when police and rescue crews found a deceased woman inside Gravois Creek. Gravois Creek flooded that roadway during heavy rains this morning, and officials say a total of 10 people were rescued from their cars. With so many people getting stranded in the water along Gravois Creek, Lieutenant Jason Bryce with Lee May Fire had a message to share this afternoon.
The message I'd like to convey is turn around, don't drown. All of these situations that we risked our lives for this morning are completely preventable. There's no reason to be driving in water, especially if there's barriers. We've had several people cross barriers where the police department have already put out, and they're still driving in the water, getting trapped.
Now at 2:45 today, St. Louis County police officers responded to a call for service for a man in the creek in the 1600 block of Avenue H. The man was pronounced deceased at the scene. Now, we don't have any new details on the woman who sadly died in her SUV, but as Lieutenant Bryce just said, this is an important reminder to not drive through flooded waters. Live in South St. Louis County, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
And there was another drowning. This one happened yesterday afternoon in Iron County. Troopers say a man tried to drive over a flooded bridge near Ironton. His car was swept away by floodwaters and found half a mile downstream in Knob Creek. His name has not yet been released.
A strong tree is part of the reason a Jefferson County man is alive right now. He was swept away by floodwaters into the Big River this morning. He grabbed onto a tree and waited. It would be hours until rescuers were able to find him. Tracy Hinson heard from those rescuers. She joins us live now in DeSoto. Tracy.
Ann and Mike, so the bridge that he was washed off of is still about half a mile from where we're standing. Floodwaters is preventing us from getting any closer. Now that bridge on Mammoth Road that goes over the Big River gave not just one person a scare, but a few people a scare earlier.
He was shocked.
Didn't know they were looking for him.
He didn't know that we were coming to get him. He hadn't heard his daughter-in-law calling to him. He hadn't heard anything.
Not even the sound of his rescuers.
We came up behind him and actually kind of scared him, but I didn't want to come up right behind him and grab him because then I really probably would have got hit or something.
We don't know who he is, just that he isn't young.
69-year-old gentleman, and he was turning 70 here in the next week or so, and didn't think he was going to make it.
But thanks to numerous rescue crews,
we gave him, I guess, an early birthday present.
So how did he end up with the water rescue as a present?
There's a low spot on each side of the bridge, and those two low spots flood pretty frequently. And this gentleman had apparently gotten across the bridge when he got to the second low water crossing.
That's where things took a turn. It was dark and his car stalled out.
And he tried to walk back out, but was swept away by the water.
The current is really strong right now. It's coming over the bridge, under the bridge.
While he was somewhere in the water, his daughter-in-law tried to cross the bridge.
her car had stalled out.
She saw her father-in-law's car and realized something was wrong, then realized she was in trouble too.
Once they got her out, they found out that she had seen a relative's car in the water. That's who she was looking for.
That was around 8 a.m. Hours later, after a drone search,
He's awake and he's doing okay, and the ambulance has transported him to a local facility to be checked out for hypothermia because he's been in the water probably since 5:30 a.m.
The road remains flooded out right now, and rescuers say that if it wasn't for that tree that he was hanging onto, it could have been a recovery instead of a rescue. In DeSoto, I'm Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
And all this rain caused Deer Creek to flood, causing problems in several communities, including Maplewood, Brentwood, Rock Hill, Webster Groves, and Shrewsbury. All the fire departments in that area were called out for water rescues. Maplewood firefighters got the first call around 3 o'clock this morning at Hanley and Manchester. That was underwater. First responders say they've seen a lot of flooding in this area, but nothing like this.
Some areas flooded far worse than what it did 3 or 4 years ago. Enough flood water to move dumpsters, cars, storage tanks.
Flooding closed several streets in Florissant, including this stretch of Lindbergh near Washington. We spotted someone driving through some pretty deep floodwaters right here. Not a good idea. You heard it from a firefighter earlier. It's just not worth it trying to drive through it. Turn around, don't drown. And more problems in North County. Police say heavy rain caused this building to collapse in St. John. This is on St. Charles Rock Road. No one was hurt. Investigators believe the building was empty at the time.
St. Louis County is open to shelter for storm victims. It's at the Mid-County YMCA in Brentwood. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. And Scott, some of these rainfall totals that we've been seeing are pretty staggering.
You know, we ended up with 5 to 8 inches of rain, pretty widespread across the metro area, but there were pockets of 8 to 10 plus inches of rain, especially as you go from that Fenton Valley Park area right down towards Steelville, down into areas of Crawford County. We had some of the highest totals there, and of course those smaller creeks that feed into the Merrimack River just exploded, and that created some big flooding down there. Now listen, Lambert came in with 3.89 inches today. All right, so that breaks the daily record of 1.62 inches. Yesterday, we had 3.75 inches of rainfall at Lambert. That broke the November record for rainfall for any single day, and then we broke it again today. So, you know, we're talking about rainfall. November is usually a relatively dry time for us, and not the case this go round. I was going to show you out here to St. Charles County, but the camera's not coming up right now. They just opened 70. Out by westbound 70, out by 370. They had an accident. It's been causing some traffic issues there, but they just did open that up. Here's what's left of the rain. Moving out of here, we should be good to go for the remainder of the night into tomorrow. Partly cloudy conditions dropping through the 50s this evening.